Here are today's top news stories and why they matter. A growing number of Cameroonians are echoing concerns raised by the United Nations regarding increasing political restrictions ahead of the country's presidential election scheduled for October 12. UN Human Rights Chief Volker Turk warns that the current environment lacks the safety and openness necessary for free, fair and inclusive elections. The UN has flagged issues such as irregularities in voter registration, limitations placed on opposition candidates, and the exclusion of certain political figures from the race. These developments have sparked widespread unease among citizens about the credibility of the upcoming vote.
When you look at the situation in Cameroon, you'll see that ELECAM cannot actually organize a free and transparent election in Cameroon. Because you look at most of the ELECAM members, they are appointed by the ruling CPDM party. So how can you appoint someone somewhere and the party will come and work against you?
I think that the disqualification of Maurice Kamto has really affected a very massive population of youths that had to go in for voting, because they looked up at him as a viable candidate that could run for presidency and possibly win. So his disqualification has made a lot of youths to not even want to participate in the elections because they don't have a candidate that they prefer.
The crisis in the northwest and southwest have contributed a lot in trying to mar the election process. You cannot actually talk about voting in a free and fair environment when people are not allowed to move. By that time, they would have instituted lockdowns, where the people in the hinterlands are not free to move there. And even when they move and vote, they are not sure to come back to their houses alive. So, when you talk about free and fair election, I don't believe in it.
In Burkina Faso, the country's criminalization of same-sex relations has sparked concerns among rights groups and activists. Burkina Faso's transitional parliament passed a controversial law criminalizing same-sex relations and any actions deemed to promote LGBTQ+ rights. The legislation imposes penalties of up to 5 years in prison, along with fines and other sanctions. This move places Burkina Faso among 20 African nations, including Uganda and Kenya, that have enacted similar laws. Amnesty International has condemned the legislation as a disturbing setback, arguing that it violates both the African Charter on Human and People's Rights and the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, which Burkina Faso has ratified.
What does it mean to promote homosexuality? Does defending the rights of all, including the right to respect of one's private life, equate to promoting homosexuality? This decision reveals the position, the homophobic and entire right position of the junta. They're not willing to see or protect an already persecuted minority.
And finally, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, former Justice Minister Constant Mutamba has been sentenced to 3 years of forced labor for embezzling public funds, including money meant for war victim reparations. Mutamba, who resigned in June, was found guilty of illegally transferring $19.9 million to Zion Construction without government approval. The funds were intended for the construction of a prison near Kisangani. The court ruled that Mutamba acted with intent to enrich the company at the state's expense and ordered him to repay the misappropriated funds. He is also banned from holding any high public office for 5 years. And that's all we have for you today. Don't forget to leave a comment, share, like and subscribe to our channel, DW Africa. I'm Ajua Tenkrama Domina.